Hi, and welcome to your Urban Connection. In this show, I want to talk about DEI and what has transpired over the last few weeks and months as it relates to major food retailers and others as it relates to their commitments and their reneging on those commitments because of a little political pressure from a few politicians. Now, this has transpired in spite of the fact that a lot of these companies, and in particular these grocers, have built giant operations, big chains, with the full participation of the very people that they now seem to be turning their backs on. And let me just say, and let me remind you, this is after just a few years ago in 2020, right after the murder of George Floyd, was when almost all of these companies made these commitments. Now, these commitments were supposed to expire somewhere, depending on which retail facility it is, between 25 and 26. In other words, 2025, 2026, and further and beyond. So now that they've reneged on those commitments, there's a general conversation taking place amongst African Americans, in particular, about boycotting these stores that will gladly take our money, gladly expand their operations based on the monies that we provide through our purchases, and then turn around and, in the face of a little political pressure, spit in our faces. And so there's a movement now, and the movement is spreading to do the only thing that basically we know to do. And that is to hit these companies in the pocketbook. That's right, hit them in the pocketbook. That seems to be the only language that they understand. That seems to be the only way that we can get their attention. Remember Rosa Parks and the bus boycott? Ladies and gentlemen, they tried everything to negotiate with, to get the attention of, to get the respect of the operators of the bus company. But nothing worked until Rosa Parks refused to sit at the back of the bus. And that set off a boycott throughout the South against segregated busing, okay, and racial discrimination in bus seating. Blacks could only sit at the back of the bus. Well, Rosa Parks said, I'm not sitting back there anymore. Okay, I'm sitting up front if there's a seat available. And they said, well, no, you're not. I said, okay, fine. Then I won't sit on the bus, period. And nor will many other people that look like me. And so you know the rest of the story. Now, I want to say this. When we start talking about boycotting a company, regardless of what industry they're in or whatever, there has to be some sacrifices made. And in the case of these grocery stores and these retailers, such as Target and Walmart, okay, there are some people, and these are Black entrepreneurs, that have products in Target stores and in Walmart stores And they fail to realize that they might have to make a little bit of inconvenience. They might have to make a sacrifice. Okay. Some of them may have their products pulled off the shelves because of lower sales if we have a successful boycott. Because these are black brands usually purchased by black people. Well, they would prefer that we not take on a boycott because of their selfish interest, because it might have an effect on their product. See, they don't understand that a successful boycott is good for all of us. Because if we all engage, it becomes a movement. And a movement never has been, never will be a me thing. A movement is a we thing. That means we all participate, we all benefit. We don't, we do not make the sacrifice of losing all benefits for all people except the few who might have products in the stores, who might have relatives that are employed in the stores, or they themselves might be employed. But you've got to see the bigger picture. This is not about you. This is about us. And that's the only way to be successful. So don't ask us to make the sacrifice for you. The sacrifice is being made for us, by us, for all of us. You're either with us or you're against us. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not going to call any names, but there's a couple of people that have products in these stores that are lashing out at the very prospect of African Americans boycotting these stores. But you see, this is the only way that we can send a message. And it looks to me like we might have to send a message not only to these stores, but we've got to send a message to you people that feel like we're supposed to bend the knee to you. You're selfish. It's all about you. Well, let me explain something to you. I've been there. I've been where you're at. Okay? I had a cosmetics line, a full cosmetics line. That means I had the makeup, I had the skincare products, I had it all. And let me tell you, I had it. I was like you. I had it in some of these department stores. And the question is, why do you go to the department stores? Well, basically, it's the same as anybody, any entrepreneur that has a product they want to sell. It's all about exposure. And you go where the exposure is. In Walmart, Target, uh, uh, Dillon's, I don't care what it is. Those are all basically national stores. So naturally, you're going to get more exposure if you have a product in front of millions of potential buyers than you would if you went to a little corner store. Makes sense. Exposure. So now you want to say, if you boycott one of these stores, I don't have the exposure that I would have otherwise. So my sales are going to fall. So what about me? Well, I'm going to tell you what about you. If you're a smart entrepreneur like I think you are, you will recognize that today you had something that I did not have 20 years ago when I had a product. And I had a product in most southern stores, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, all down south, Carolina, all of them. But there was one thing that I didn't have that you have today that would allow me to have more exposure than what you have by being in Target. Well, I don't care if you're in all of them. And that one thing is what you're viewing this program on, the internet. I would have given anything 15 years ago to have access to a worldwide internet. The exposure that it would bring for me to put my products in front of millions of people. Okay? So you have that opportunity today that I did not have. Why not take advantage of it? Because you see, here's the deal. What you're not seeing. You're paying Walmart a certain percentage of your revenue to be able to sell your products in their store. I know, I've been there. Okay? Now, let me just say this to you. Let's forget about a boycott. None of those stores are guaranteed to be open next week. And the economy we've seen here in the last 5 to 10 years, I can tell you there's been a whole ton of stores that have went out of business. Big retail stores, some of them national brands, they've went out of business. So you don't have a guarantee on anything. And also, as it's been said many times before, and I'm sure you've heard this, it's never a good idea to put all of your eggs in one basket anyhow. All right? So don't expect us to make a sacrifice to benefit you when our objective is to have you join us and we all make a little sacrifice for a bigger gain for all of us, including you. Okay? All right. Now let's get on with the stores that we're looking at and we're talking about. Like I said, most of these are major retail stores, and I want to talk about them. Talk about the commitments that they all made. They were just happy. Nobody twisted their arm. Nobody forced them to make the commitments, but they made the commitments. Like I said, back in 2020. And let's start off with Walmart. So Walmart makes a commitment, and they're going to do everything that they can because they know for a fact that how valuable black dollars are to their sales and how important it is to have those black dollars for their growth. And they've grown to be what is today the #1 retailer in the country, if not the world. But now, due to a little political pressure, they want to withdraw and renege on the commitments that they made to the DEI efforts, which is diversity, inclusion, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they want to pull back and run away from that because of a little political pressure from some people that want to keep black people down. Walmart ran away from a $100 million commitment that they made, took it off the table just here a couple months ago that they made in 2020. Now, as I said, nobody twisted their arm. They did this because they saw the benefits of reaching out to not only black people, but gay people, transgender people, Hispanic people, women, whatever. But now they want to renege. Well, not they want to, they have reneged on their commitment to DEI and the promises that they made at that time. All right, so now let's go to another one. Let's talk about talk about Target store. And Target store did the same thing. Okay. Target store made big commitments to DEI back in 2020. Made commitments that were supposed to expire in December of 2025. But just a couple of weeks ago, in January of 25, Target decided to reverse course and renege on the commitment due to a little political pressure from a group of racist white politicians. Okay? So they will gladly take your money, folks, and then they will turn around and at the first opportunity, spit in your face, disrespect you, okay? And think that they can do that and you'll keep spending your money with them. And so now, a nationwide boycott of Target stores and Walmart to a lesser extent are the targets of boycott by the very people that they choose to disrespect and show their backside to regarding DEI. Okay? So I want you people to understand that for this effort to work, it's going to take all of us. Okay? You cannot make exceptions. You cannot say because my sister works over there or because my uncle has a product in that store. I'm sorry. That's not the way it works. You know? When a union, either in aircraft or meat packing or whatever the industry, when they call for a strike, they don't make any exceptions. They don't say, well, hey, we'll make an exception for you if uh, you are whatever. No. They want everybody to be there because why? Because when they're successful, they're negotiating for all of their members. And even some people that are not members, once they negotiate a better contract, okay, all people benefit from it. Not just a few. It was never intended for a few. It's the same way with this boycott. Now, I understand some of you people are young. You've never seen a boycott. You never participated in a boycott. Nobody's ever even mentioned a boycott to you. Because to be factual, most boycotts with Black people were back in the 60s and 70s. Okay? We've not had a boycott, especially a nationwide boycott, lately. But let me just tell you, if it worked in the 60s and the 70s, it will work in the 20s. And that is the way that you get their attention. You hit them in the pocketbook. Now, you can take a brick and hit them upside the head. That won't get their attention. Because they live and thrive on money. They live and die for money and power. We want to take away the money. We will stop some of their growth. Depending on how successful we are, we can basically force them to close down some stores. But if that's what it takes, that's what we have to do. We can't feel sorry for them. They don't feel sorry for us. They have not, and they will not until we do something to get their attention. Now, I want to show you, I want to move on, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you the latest one that has done the backtracking from their commitments. And this is the last one, but it's one that you might not have thought of. But Aldi's. That's right, Aldi's, which has stores all over the United States, and I would suggest that probably 70% of their stores are in low income areas of the cities that they're in. So they certainly have benefited from Black participation. And they too made a commitment that nobody held a gun to their head and forced them to make in 2020. But now, 4 years later, or a little less, certainly not 5 years, they're reneging on the commitments that they're made. You see, they feel they've got you now, okay? They've got you coming to their stores. They've got you in the habit coming to their stores, spending your money. And now they feel like they can turn their backs on you, okay? Well, they still want you to come in the stores. They still want you to spend money. But we have to show them that, hey, there's a cost to be the boss, okay? So Aldi's, you're no better than Target, nor Walmart, nor Ford Motor Company, John Deere Tractor, or any of the others that have bowed and caved to the pressure. Okay? So we're going to move forward. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. I want to now show you, because people, I know a lot of people say, well, where would we shop at? Where do we buy groceries at? Where do we buy appliances at? Where do we buy TVs at? Where do we buy baking utensils, whatever? Well, there are other companies that made a commitment, just like these three I've shown you did, and they're not backing down. They're not caving to political pressure from a group of racist, white supremacists, and Nazi white boys. They're not doing it. And I'm going to show you who that company is. Okay? And it's a company that most of you will know. Okay, you certainly have heard of them. They have stores, they're nationwide, just like the others are. And that store is, there you got it, Costco. Costco, ladies and gentlemen. Costco is almost anything that you could buy at Walmart is available at Costco. Now, they might not have quite as many stores as does Walmart or even Target, but they have prices that will save you money, sometimes even cheaper than Walmart. And here's the big thing. They have something else that Walmart does not have and Target does not have. They sell gasoline. And they sell gasoline at prices that's almost unbelievable in today's market. Okay? They sell gasoline 20 to 30 cents a gallon cheaper than where you probably are buying your gas at today. You're buying gas at the convenience stores, these corner convenience stores, okay, and some of these other brand name operations, you are paying 20 to 30, sometimes 40% more per gallon than what you can buy for at Costco. Now, Costco is a membership, but the membership, when you purchase a membership, you will get a coupon that is worth so much money off just for signing up. But then when you go to buy gas, ladies and gentlemen, your gasoline itself, depending on how much you drive, would almost pay for your membership fee each year. Okay? So basically, it's a win-win situation. You're getting your membership from your gas, and then you're buying groceries at a discount compared to what you would pay at some other stores. So it's a win-win situation. And Costco has told these politicians and racist white boys who are white supremacists and who are Nazis and just out and out racists, they told them where to go. They said DEI is good for our business. It's good for our customers. It's good for our employees. It's good for our bottom line. And we're not deviating and we're not reneging on the commitments that we've made. Now, not only did the company say that, their stockholders stood behind them and said, we stand with our board of directors and the Costco management team in moving forward and sticking with our DEI program. That's good enough for me, and it should be good enough for you. Finally, a company that is not afraid to stand up to somebody who's making allegations unsubstantiated with no evidence that DEI is bad for business. That DEI discriminates against white males. There's no evidence. Let's talk about it, including some of the politicians right here in our city with no evidence. And you know what's funny? There have been several lawsuits filed, but the judges are throwing the suits out. You know why? Because these people are filing lawsuits claiming they were discriminated against when they never even applied at any of these stores. And the judges say, how in the hell could you be discriminated against when you never even applied? So you're making this stuff up. You're making it up. And it's all lies. And they're seeing right through it. They're seeing right through you. But yet, Walmart, Aldi's, Target, Ford Motor Company, John Deere Tractor, and there's several. I could go on and on. They're caving. They're scared to death. They're trembling in their boots because of lies that are being spread from the top of the chain, which is the President of the United States, on down through the senators and the congressmen and the county commissioners and maybe some areas even city council, maybe even governors, some state legislatures. And it's all lies, ladies and gentlemen, because they want all of the money that they can get. Like I said, they live on it. They thrive on it. They live for power, money, and control. And it's time we took a stand and a stance for what we believe in, what we know is true, and stand against what we know is a lie. And those of you that have products in these stores or have employee relatives that are employees of these stores, you must come to grips with the fact that we must stand together. We, as a community of people who have been lied about, lied to, talked about, discriminated against, had everything stolen from us, taken from us, we must stand together and say, not anymore. Enough is enough. So don't sit back and wait for somebody else to do something for you and bring benefits to you that you don't deserve because you didn't participate. And boycotting is not a spectator sport. It is a participation sport. all are expected to participate. Because certainly when the benefits come, all of you will be there with your hands out. You'll be there wishing and wanting and worshiping the benefits that are being derived from a successful boycott. Okay? And you shouldn't have to think twice about it. It's for your benefit. Take heed. And let me just say one final thing. You people should be ashamed of yourselves for allowing a black hair care market across this country to be dominated by people that do nothing like you, that have no more respect for you than the operators of these food retailers and the grocery stores and other operations, these beauty supply stores. Black people back 20 years ago had 75% of the market. And today you probably have 5%. Shame on you. Keep that in mind. Okay? You did it to yourself. It's time for us to take a stand. We can talk. The talk doesn't change anything. We're talking while they're acting, and when they're acting, it's not in our best interest. They're never going to try to make things better for you. You have to do it for yourself. And today is the day to start. Okay? All right, that's my show. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you the next time.